Good morning YouTubers, welcome back to the channel and happy Easter. It's Sunday, Easter Sunday, and we're going to go to a new show today called Wrea Green, W-R-E-A, which is up in Kirkham towards Preston, the other side of Preston. So today we're going to go in the Sunbeam Sport. We went out yesterday in the XR2 up to Buxton and had a nice little run, but I've got a bit of a noisy wheel bearing now. I don't know what's going on there, so we need to do some investigation later on. So the Sunbeam Sport is a lovely day here in Wigan, blue skies, beautiful and nice and dry, so hopefully we'll have a good trip up there. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, I'll be setting off in about half an hour and we'll catch up when we get there.
So we've arrived at the show, doing something a little bit different this time. I've decided to do a voiceover rather than speak at the show because it gets a bit noisy and windy and I can't get my volume right. So that was just a quick image of the sport parked up. Quite a few modern classics at this show, or car meet this morning. This is lovely 03 M3. I'm not a lover of BMs, but I do like the M3. I think it's, particularly this model, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Then there's the McLaren. I can't gel with these. They're a super fast car and fantastic, but I just think they're a little bit impractical for use. Maybe great for around the racetrack, but really around the roads, probably not. Now this is a lovely 458 Spider. Again, I'm not a Ferrari lover, but I think they look fantastic in red. It's a lovely tan interior and it's very, very well presented. Beautiful looking car. Sorry about my finger there, just holding the phone today rather than using my holder. But yeah, it's beautiful. Had a lovely interior. It's absolutely fantastic car. Really well presented and looks wonderful in the red. Next to that was a nice Audi V10 R8, again in a beautiful colour blue. Not seen one in this colour blue before. Black wheels, it really did stand out from the crowd, that car. Next to another McLaren, again in another blue. I quite like metallic blues these days. I think car manufacturers have got some really good shades of blue. This had an Alcantara interior, big screen there for the sat nav. Again, I think they're probably a little bit impractical for whizzing around town, especially with the way the roads are these days, but you know, round the track I bet they're amazing. Another Porsche 911 convertible, or 997 is it now, I think they are, 918 I'm not sure, finished in a light grey. This is the proper stuff I like looking at, you know, a big American muscle, big, I think that's a small block V8, might be wrong, might be a big block. What a beast of a car that is, it's absolutely fantastic. Great colour in a gunmetal grey, really nice wheels on it, and the interior was absolutely fantastic, like a blue colour. But the dash, imagine just sat behind the wheel on that, heading down the American highway in the 60s and 70s, unbelievable. I bet it was revolutionary. I think that's probably why they sold so many Mustangs. They were just a proper car that Americans actually made back in the 60s and 70s. And even all the chrome, if you look at the chrome, was immaculate on this vehicle. Panel gaps were really good, really nice car. Now this is Gary's Totcher, I think he's called. He's in the Quantum H4 group. He attends a lot of the meetings, really nice guy. Had a right good chat. Thanks for your time today, Gary. It was a pleasure spending the time around the show with you. Next to this was a lovely stag. I had a look at the data sheet on this and it was exported at one time in its life and it had a kilometre speedo. It's back to a MPH one now. Not sure where it got exported to. It didn't say on the heritage certificate, it just said it had been exported, but a lovely car, absolutely lovely. I've seen this at quite a few shows and I've never really had a good look at it, but it looks really nice in red. I'm not sure what colour it is. Red, but it's a lovely car, automatic as well, and a nice typical Triumph dash wood and circular clocks, but yeah, really lovely car. Right, now we're back to the Americans. It's a 5.7 litre V8 Corvette in a striking bright yellow you certainly get noticed in the bad weather with that. Absolutely stunning again. These people who own these American cars, they really, really look after them. I've never seen one which has been neglected. It's just lovely. You know, it's nice to see in bright yellow as well. And I bet it's a bit of a handful in the wet, that. Moving on to this XJ Jaguar. Now this was in a really unusual colour, like almost a plummy pearlescent maroon. Absolutely stunning. Now these did rot for England, these XJ40s, but this was an exception. It's clearly been very, very well looked after. A lovely presentable car, no dents, beautiful cream leather interior. It was stunning. It was actually a really nice car to see. Next to that's a modern Jaguar. Again, a really nice, fantastic bit of kit. We've got a lovely 5-litre Mustang. Now I do like these for a modern American car. They just sound absolutely awesome, and it looks fantastic in red, as most cars do. Now this was a right treat to look at. I've seen this a few times. It's been all over Facebook. A 1966 Vauxhall Cresta, and this is a Powerglide automatic. Now it's only done 10,000 miles, this vehicle, and it's completely original. Obviously been polished up and whatnot and recommissioned to get back on the road, but absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice straight car. You can just tell all the gaps are really good, and it's just a really nice car. And you know, Vauxhall's made a cracking car in the 60s. You know, they suffered heavily with corrosion, like Roots suffered with Hillman Imp's head gaskets and other cars, you know, rotting away. But yeah, 10,000 miles from new, it was absolutely fantastic. I've seen it a couple of times. Big 6-cylinder model, so I bet it ticks over lovely, and it's a great cruiser that down the motorway. Next was one of my favourites. This was, I'd love one of these. I just don't have the space. They're not expensive, unfortunately, and you get a lot of car for your money. This finished in like a metallic gold with a metallic brownie coloured roof, and absolutely lovely colour combination. The car was mint, absolutely mint. Normally they rot on the arches, but not this one. It's either had a lot of restoration or it's been really, really well looked after. It's just a proper British car that it makes us proud to manufacture cars. Here's another American car. It's another red Corvette, and it's just like the other one at the further up the picture, but it's got silver wheels, this one, as opposed to black. This is a lovely RV8 in metallic red, metallic green. These get words mixed up. Look at that dashboard. They really did finish them off properly when they reintroduced these back in the 90s. I think these are in red, blue, and green. But it's a stunning car. This, it really was. It sounded sweet when it came in as well. That V8, you just can't beat the old Rover V8. It's a lovely engine, maintained well, but it's got the period looks, but it's just that bit of twist of the modern style. There's another lovely car here. There's quite a few of these TVRs here at this show today, or this meeting. This is finishing a lovely metallic blue with a black leather interior and a bit of grey. But it's just amazing. It had a race clock in the dash, that, so it must do a bit of track day with it. But again, another V8 sounded absolutely wonderful. You just can't beat a V8 sound. A British V8, or an American V8, they're just wonderful, and I bet they handle really, really well. Particularly this model, because it looks like it's set up for track day with the dash and whatnot, but it would be really nice to have. Now this was a nice Mercedes GTS. Was a little bit disappointed in this, really. I don't know if it was just somebody who owns the business or they'd come visiting, but it could have done with a right good clean. There was quite a lot of green mould starting to come round the back lights, the bumper and that window, and I just think, got a lovely car like that, which they're not cheap, and just a little bit neglected, but oh God, I would love that. I bet that's an absolute dream to drive, that vehicle. Now this is been to a few shows, a Rover 75 in Nightfire Red. It's a lovely car, this, and who'd have thought these would have been a classic, but they're just a lovely shape. My father had an estate one, and it was a big little car, and it sounds silly that, because it's a big car on the outside but quite compact on the inside, but they really finished really well. Now this was a treat, these pair of Alphas. Never ever seen anything like this in my life. These were both original cars, although the 84 one here, we're looking at the Alpha 90, had a lot of corrosion on the door tops and the wheel arches, the wings and the bonnet and the doors, but it was all on the top. It was a real shame because a lovely car. This was a manual version, V6, fuel injected, and it was father and son who owned these, and the father owned the 81 one, but as you can see on the bonnet and the wings, it was just corrosion everywhere around the scuttle, the tops of the doors. Not rotten, it was just, must be just contamination in the metal. Now this was again another original car. I had a real good look at this car with the owner, and he was an older gentleman. He used to have a Alfa Romeo dealership in Lytham St Anne's, and this is all original, this car, although that door does look a slightly different colour. I might have a lick of the paint, but what an absolute fantastic car. Now this was automatic, both same engine as each other. Well, this had 6 carburettors as opposed to the other was fuel injection, the later one. But it was just, these made me day. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen these cars before. Absolutely stunning. That interior, it was just like sitting in an armchair. The wood, the plastic was, considering it was 30 odd years old, it was just unbelievable. It was just like brand new, absolutely like brand new, and a lovely owner. The guy was a fanatic, and like I say, he owned a business doing Alfa Romeos, an Italian chappie in Lytham, and it was a pleasure to see, and it was a pleasure to chat to them. It really was. There's another nice little Fiat 500. Now I don't know what was in this because it drove off and it sounded beautiful. It must be a 595 or something, but it had a big bore exhaust on it, and a chap got in it, and it sounded a bit lumpy on the tick over, so it must have a cam in it, but I can imagine it was rapid, but probably great fun. But it was a real clean car, obviously restored, and it was nice to see again. Now this was another one of my favourites. I've not seen this vehicle before. It was a metallic green Cobra replica 427. Oh my god, there was an elderly gentleman and a lady that drove off in it, and it was just amazing. You know, the colour combination with the green and the brown tan interior and the dashboard. It was just perfection, I think, in the Cobra world. I've hankered for one of these for a while. I think I'm getting to that age I could probably do with a kit car, but it's just the fuel economy on them and the V8, and quite a big car, so it take a lot of space up in my garage, but that was absolutely beautiful, it really was. So over to another TVR, and I've never seen one in this colour before, in a metallic gold. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful, really well presented, sounded beautiful when it drove in. Again with a nice black interior with tan door cards and a dash, but it was really nice, and it was very unusual colour. And the part next to that was a lovely fuel injected I think it's a TR4A, and I've seen this over at Charity Farm a couple of times, and it's another real nice car with a fantastic dashboard. You just look at the Triumphs, and they've always got a plethora of wood in them and circular clocks and whatnot, but it was an absolute stunning car and real rust free. And there's another TVR. Now this was, I quite like this. It was probably one of the last ones. It's a Saga, I think, or something like that. But it had this, it looked silver at first, and then as I walked around you could see the colour. It's like a chameleon changing colour. And I thought, I don't really like that. But then the more I looked at it, I just thought, oh my God, it's amazing, you know. And I'd hate to have to paint a panel on it, because I imagine you'd end up painting most of the car just if you'd got a scratch or damage. But yeah, proper piece of equipment that was, and a clear visor on the back. But yes, really nice bit of kit. It really was. And there's another TVR. This is an early one, 3 litre in a metallic red. Again, a lovely, well presented car. You know, the beauty of them, they don't rot because of fiberglass. But it's just, they still need maintaining and looking after. But this was, again, a lovely car, probably a 3 litre. I'm not sure they're making a model of this, but I did think it was a lovely car. Again, nice cream interior. Now this, I don't think, Porsche's a bit of love-hate with these. I'd love one, but I don't really get the true feedback from people because there's just so many of them. But this was a beautiful colour, very similar to my Mercedes, and I really do like the metallic blues that manufacturers have got out these days. Now moving just across the way, there's a few more popped up from earlier on. This Aston Martin Vantage S, and it was beautiful. It looked really nice black with the bright yellow calipers. And you probably say, oh, it looks a bit brash that, but actually it really suited it. And the interior, well, imagine sitting behind that dashboard, shooting down through the Italian roads. I bet the car just comes into its own. Probably not the best with the roads around here at the moment, particularly with all the potholes. But yes, a beautiful car. Not sure what year it was, maybe 2 or 3 years old. I'm not sure with a private plate on, but it was absolutely, for a black car, it was absolutely stunning. There wasn't a mark on it. Now a little Triumph Spitfire here, 1971, finished in the dark blue with steel wheels. Again, really nice car. Panel fit was very good. And typical Triumph wooden dash again with the circular dials. Just like in a fighter pilot, I suppose, cockpit. Maybe that's where they got the name from, Spitfire. But yes, really, really nice car. And then next to that was completely the opposite. Big American C3 Corvette, finished in silver over a gunmetal grey. And I do like these. These are the last real Corvettes, I think, that the Yanks did. This is a later one with the rubber bumpers, 1978. The early ones had a chrome bumper, then you had your C2s and your C1s, which are just ridiculous amounts of money these days. Now this is a white Porsche of Dave's. This is my friend Andy Healy's. He was at the show last weekend at Cars on the Hill, and I recognised it. I thought, I'll do a quick walk around the video of his 997 Turbo. Again, another really nice car. Very well presented, absolutely spotlessly clean. It's good to see people with these modern classics and Porsches. You've got to take your hat off to them. All the modern classic car owners like this Golf R, they're fanatical about them. They're absolutely spotless. You wouldn't think they were probably an everyday car as well, but this was a TSI R line, so I presume it's a 2 litre twin cam something or other turbo. But I'm a bit unsure, but I really do like the Golfs. It's a Mark 7, this one. Or is it Mark 6? Might be a Mark 6. But I just think, and it's a Mark 7, yeah, the backlights. They're just a great car. We have a Golf diesel and I love it. Here's the second of the Corvettes. This is exactly the same as the one down the bottom end, but it's got black wheels on and it just looks stunning in red. It's a real vibrant red, and I just think, do you know what? Proper nice bit of car that, and sounded sweet as a nut as well. Fred's, I think that one was. Now this was a treat. It was a Plymouth Suburban, and it was lovely. I just spotted this late on. It must have been a late arrival. What a lovely car that is, or station wagon Suburban. It's just the Yanks, 1951. You look at the state of that. We're running around in Morris Minors and Vauxhalls and whatnot, and it's just unbelievable. It wasn't mint, there was bits of corrosion everywhere on it, but real, gee whiz, it's just a dream. Look at the dashboard on that. It was just amazing. You can imagine just jumping in with the family in the 50s and heading down to the beach or off for your holidays in the States. It was just unbelievable. The space in it, it was huge, a huge vehicle, but it just burbled along with its big V8 in it, and it's just fantastic vehicle. Really did like it. But even the badges, they're like proper badges, and none of your cheap rubbish you stick on things. Early on in the years when people used to build cars. So this is just the final bit now. It's Gary Totcher and his Quantum H4. I passed him on the motorway and gave him a wave when I was bobbing along in my Hillman Imp. But that's it for now. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch up at the next one. Thank you.